My name's Colin, and I'm a music therapist, and I teach here at Laurier on the undergraduate and graduate music therapy programs. In my career, I've worked primarily with people with learning disabilities, and then I worked in HIV and AIDS and in end-of-life care, palliative care, before I became a teacher. So I'm just going to speak to my clinical work. One of the things that never ceased to amaze me was this thing we use music as a therapy, but the actual musical connections between the clients I worked with who had profound disabilities and no speech were the same as working with verbally articulate people with AIDS and who were dying. So for me, music in therapy, there's no difference who I work with. The actual connections in music are all equal. And that's the point about music. It makes us all equal regardless of who we are, where we've come from. And so entering into that music space, it's very much about two human souls, regardless of why they come to therapy. Music and social change is really important in our contemporary world, which is moving very quickly in terms of bringing music to everybody. I think music therapy for a long time was quite specialized, and we've had to realize that we cannot be precious in that sense. We need to open up to the whole world. And so what does that mean to work with different communities and people with different social aspects to who they are? You know, there's gender, there's the LGBTQ community, there's many people that I think now can use music in this unifying way. And so music is a leveler. It levels the playing field. Yeah, well, so Tamara came to me with the idea, and I remember sitting in the office, and after her 5-minute explanation, I said, yes, I want to be a part of this. For me, what she's done in bringing these youth across here is a wonderful thing on so many levels, and I've seen the richness of the children, as they've changed in this relatively short space of time, and it's been an honor to work with them every step of the way. I have valued every second that I've been with them in this music space. Yes, it's been an absolute honor. So as I said earlier, I didn't want to bring to them music other than this open space. Now they come from a different world, and there's a different musical culture, and I was very aware of that, and so I brought in drones and things that were musical backdrops that might be appropriate for them, or whilst understanding that it's easy to culturally misappropriate what you give. So I've been very sensitive to that. But we haven't done songs or anything structured. I wanted we've had about an hour and 20 minutes, 3 sessions, is to keep this space open. And certainly when we first met, it was chaos, because they brought with them the chaos of the world they lived. And they told me Mumbai is chaotic, and so I offered this space. And it's hard in music to live with chaos. So once, I think the first week, they'd acknowledged that they could play who they were not what I wanted them to play, but themselves. So it's actually got much more structure and much more playful and creative. So we've done various activities and interventions, but they've all been very free within this open improvised setting. I just wanted to be there for them and give them space to play. I was not expecting, I'm a therapist, but I didn't come in expecting to solve their lives or dig deep into who they were in 3 sessions. I just wanted them to be in this open space and explore and play music, which they've done. Because I haven't really seen what else has been going on. I've seen the timetable and I've seen they've had drama, and I know that they've had other musical experiences. So it was interesting for me. I don't know how what I've done with them compared to other parts of the program and how the pieces of the puzzle fit together. But what I can say is I've been blown away by the courage and the creativity of these children. And I just hope in some small way I've given them something while they've been here. Yeah, that's a really, because it's not just about the things that have happened here. They've been, you know, I think all of them have never flown before. They've never lived outside Mumbai, and all of a sudden they're in this very different Canadian culture. So that in itself is a huge learning curve for them, not least jet lag and everything that goes with traveling such long distances. But apart from that, I think it's been a very full schedule. I think the people that have been involved in this project are here because they have a passion and they want. I hope they felt a lot of love. I kind of feel it, and in a way, I wanted them to feel that from the music, that it was about being positive, but about love too. Yes, I cannot overestimate how important this project is and what everybody has done to make this happen, to give people a glimpse into something else. And I don't know how they'll feel when they get home, but I think we've given them a glimpse into something different. And I don't know if there are any plans for them to come back, or if this is a one-off experience. But I think it's a really difficult question to answer, because I think it's potentially huge in impacting these youth. You know, I think back to working with the dying people when I worked with them, and people who were dying were going this route, and I had something to offer them that wasn't a part of that route, that was a celebration of music, even though they were dying. And the parallels are very different, but the same, I think. So I think this has been a testament to Tamara to actually make this happen. I can't believe it. And when the children came in, it's like, oh my God, this really did happen. Did you feel that? Like, oh my God, they're really here. Because it was all kind of, it felt like fantasy, and then all of a sudden they're here now. And I remember thinking, oh, okay, Colin, you'd better do a good job, because they've come all this way, so you better get your act together, because they're sitting here now. So I felt a huge wave of responsibility for my little part. Even though we've all had different roles, my role has just been here, your role has been different, but all roles are equally important to make this work. I've been a music therapist, well, I practiced for many years, and one of the things that was always not a shock to me, something I learned with, we get more from this work than we can ever give. I always think, when I was a practicing music therapist, like, I get to be with people, okay, in difficult situations, and I know how to share music with them, but what I get back is so immense, and they pay me too. Like, wow, I get paid to do it. But I think, this is what I think the people I've worked with have allowed me into their lives at a very difficult time. They didn't have to do that. They trusted me to be with them in music at a different time for different reasons. And that again goes back to it's a real honor. So our job is to be a therapist. I cannot dissolve into an emotional puddle. But at the end of the day, when it's all over, all said and done, you grow so much more. And you just hope that in amongst all this, you give something, it doesn't matter how small, to the people you share music with. No, other than I've just had a wild time. I came into this not knowing what was going to happen. And as I said, a little bit nervous and apprehensive. And the wonderful thing, this is the thing about being a music therapist, when you work in this creative open space. If you trust the music, if you absolutely know the music and you trust it, the process just flies. And sometimes I have this feeling as though I'm watching it happen. And one of the things that's very important when you work in an open creative space is there has to be some sense of form. You know, we talked about the chaos, but the therapist's job is to create form, and that's your job, that's a technique. Once you know that technique and you know how to apply it, then you just sit back and go for the ride. It's just amazing. And it works, and it'll end because it needs to end. And there are moments like we had a session this morning and we did this piano duet and everything was like this bubble. It's like everything stopped. And for this 5 moments, it was like we were just two human beings that knew each other in music. So I'll do it again. If there's a repeat, even though I may be in Vegas, I'll be back. Yeah.